Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Deep Dive. We are incredibly glad you're here with us today for what I think is a really fascinating look at a company that changed everything.
But before we jump right in, before we get into the origin of YouTube, we have a quick but very important request for you.
That's right. We want to keep bringing you these deep dives, and to do that, we really do need your help.
It just takes a moment. So if you could please subscribe to the channel, that is probably the most important thing you can do.
And while you're there, please turn on the notification bell. That way you'll never miss a new deep dive from us.
Liking this deep dive also helps a lot. It tells us you find this valuable.
And finally, please leave a comment. All of it. Subscribing, liking, commenting. It truly does support the channel. So thank you.
Okay, with that said, let's talk about YouTube. It's almost, well, it's impossible to imagine modern life without it.
It really is. I mean, think about it. We use it for everything. For learning a new skill, for just relaxing.
Entertainment, music, even for studying English, like many of you are doing right now.
Exactly. And for sharing our ideas. It's this massive global force. But our mission today is to go all the way back to the start.
We're going to use our sources to understand not just who started it, but more importantly, why. How did a simple everyday problem turn into a world-changing invention?
It's a great story about skills, timing, and a real focus on making something easy for people to use. Let's start our deep dive.
Okay, so let's kick things off with the founders. The story really begins with two guys, Steve Chen and Chad Hurley.
They weren't just colleagues. Our sources say they were good friends who worked together at a very famous California tech company.
That's right, PayPal. And PayPal, it was a major incubator for future tech leaders. A lot of talent came out of there.
And what's so interesting is how different these two were. They had completely different skills, but they were perfectly complementary.
That combination was absolutely crucial. Let's start with Steve Chen. He was the engineer, the tech guy.
Born in Taiwan, moved to the U.S. Loved math, loved computers.
Exactly. He studied computer science, and at PayPal, his job was all about the technical systems, making sure the website actually worked, that it was reliable, the back-end stuff.
The nuts and bolts. So he's making sure it all runs smoothly behind the scenes.
Precisely. Now, on the other hand, you have Chad Hurley.
A totally different background.
Totally different. He grew up in Pennsylvania, studied fine arts and design. His world was all about how things look and feel to the user.
And he's the one who designed the famous PayPal logo.
That's him. So you have this perfect split. Chen is focused on function. Does it work? Hurley is focused on form. Is it easy to use? Is it inviting?
And that balance is everything. I mean, if you only have engineers, you can get something that's brilliant but impossible to use.
And if you only have designers, it might look beautiful, but it'll crash all the time. They needed both, and they had both.
Okay, so they have the skills. But what about the money? Starting a company isn't cheap.
Well, that's where their time at PayPal comes in again. When PayPal was sold to eBay, it was a huge deal.
A massive acquisition.
And as early employees, both Chen and Hurley made a significant amount of money from that sale. That gave them capital.
So they didn't have to go looking for investors right away. They had a launch pad.
Exactly. It gave them the freedom to just start building a huge advantage. They had the money, they had the skills, but they still didn't have the idea for YouTube.
Right. And the sources are very clear on this. The idea didn't come from some big business plan.
No, not at all. It came from a party, a simple shared frustration that they had in early 2005.
So what was that frustration? What was the genesis moment?
Well, you have to picture what technology was like back then. People had these new digital cameras and they were taking short videos at parties and events.
Capturing little moments.
Exactly. But the next day, when they wanted to share those videos with friends, it was a nightmare.
That was the problem. It was just so difficult. Why was it so hard?
Two big reasons. First, the files themselves were huge, way too large to send by email.
Right. I remember that you try to attach a video and it would just get rejected. File too large.
It would just bounce back. And second, if you tried to upload it to a website, the process was really confusing, super technical.
You needed special software. You had to know about file formats.
Yep.
It wasn't for the average person.
Not at all. And Chen and Hurley were just genuinely surprised. Why is something so simple, sharing a memory, so hard?
And that's the aha.
That moment. That's it. The big idea was just to create a place where anyone could upload and share a video quickly, easily.
The key words being quickly and easily.
Absolutely. The whole design philosophy was about removing every single difficulty for the user. It had to be clean, friendly, and simple.
No special software. No technical skills needed. That focus on simplicity in 2005, that was revolutionary.
It really was. It took video sharing from being a niche expert thing to being for everyone.
Okay, so they're building this simple platform,
Yeah.
but they made one specific decision that, according to our sources, was maybe the smartest thing they did.
Oh, definitely. This was the move that made the platform go viral. It was adding the option to embed videos.
Let's break that down for our listeners. What exactly does embedding a video mean?
The great question. Embedding meant that YouTube gave you a small piece of code, and you could take that code and paste it onto your own website, like a personal blog or a forum post.
So the video would actually play on your site, not just on YouTube's site.
That's it, exactly. Instead of telling your friends, hey, go to this website and search for my video, you could just put the video right in front of them.
And they could watch it without leaving the page they were already on.
Right. And the result was explosive. Suddenly, YouTube videos were just everywhere, all over the internet. It was a brilliant growth strategy because their users did all the marketing for them.
And this is where timing becomes so important. The idea was great, but the world had to be ready for it. It was a perfect storm of technology.
It absolutely was. Three big things were happening all at once that made the world ready for YouTube.
Okay, what's factor number one?
Internet speed. It was finally getting faster. Remember dial-up? Trying to watch a video on that was painful.
Oh, constant buffering. It was unwatchable.
By the mid-2000s, more and more people had broadband, faster internet. That made watching videos online actually enjoyable, so the audience was there.
Okay, that's one. What was the second factor?
The tools to create. Digital cameras were getting cheaper and much more common, so suddenly everyone had a video camera in their pocket or in their home.
So the supply of content was about to explode. Everyone could be a creator.
Exactly. And the third factor was the desire to share. This was the dawn of social media. People were getting used to sharing their lives online with photos and text.
And YouTube just provided the missing piece of the puzzle, video.
The perfect piece. The tech was ready, the creators were ready, and the culture was ready. The timing was just perfect.
And because of that, the growth was just immediate.
It was incredible. They launched in 2005. In just 1 year, it was one of the most popular sites on the web. Millions of people uploading videos.
And this really started a huge cultural shift. I mean, before YouTube, if you wanted to get a message out, you had to go through a TV studio or a network.
That gatekeeper was gone. The sources say it best. Anyone could become a creator.
Anyone could share a message.
And maybe the most important part, everyone had a voice. For the first time, an ordinary person could have a global audience.
And when something grows that fast, it gets noticed, especially by the giants.
Oh, for sure. Which brings us to Google. In 2006, just a year after launch, Google buys YouTube.
For $1.65 billion.
An incredible amount of money at the time. And, a lot of people thought Google was crazy.
They thought it was a reckless decision, paying that much for a website with, home videos and cat videos.
A website that wasn't even profitable yet. But looking back now,
It's seen as one of the smartest acquisitions in tech history.
without a doubt, Google gave YouTube the resources and the infrastructure to scale globally, to become what it is today.
So if we look at that legacy, what is YouTube today? It's so much more than just a video site.
It's really a global community. It's a library of human knowledge. It has totally changed culture, entertainment.
In education, I mean, think of how many people, how many students go to YouTube first to learn something.
It's the default. It supports this massive economy of creators, teachers, artists, comedians, gamers, repair experts. It's just immense.
So to wrap this up, let's summarize the key takeaways for you, the learner. This whole story really comes back to one core theme.
It does. A world-changing company started from a simple, everyday problem, just two friends who wanted an easier way to share a video.
And they solved it with their complementary skills, the perfect blend of tech and design.
And the lesson there, I think, is that you don't always need some giant, complex idea. Sometimes the most successful innovations are the ones that just find something difficult and make it simple for everyone.
A really powerful insight. Okay, let's leave you with one final provocative thought to consider.
Our sources point out that YouTube gave everyone a voice. It gave almost anyone on the planet the power to broadcast a message instantly.
So if we think about the bigger picture, what does it really mean for our society? What happens to truth, to education, to culture, when every single person has a global platform? That's something worth thinking more about.
A very important question.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like, and leave a comment to support the channel.